Hello to everybody. I'm honored to be here with you today. I'm sorry for my English. I'm not yet able to perfectly speak Portuguese and Brazilian, cause I'm Italian, and uh, and so yes, I I used to speak with my hands. I I drink too much espresso, and I tend to believe that simple problems could be solved with a good plate of spaghetti. But today I want to speak with you about something that is not so simple to solve with with a simple recipe. I want to speak with you about sustainability. Um, at the moment, right now I'm representing BIP, that is a multinational consulting firm born more than 20 years ago in Europe, and at the moment we are working and let me check if I can support my speech with here. Um, we are working in many countries around the world. We are more than 6,000 experts in many sectors in many industries around the world. And I'm honored to say that our second largest country around the world is Brazil. So I feel like at home, even if several colleagues still call me gringo, but we will work on it. Um, what is BIP? Is a special for me, is a special consulting firm because we are differentiating in these more than 20 years. We are differentiating ourselves across three main leverages. It's what we call the TIS effect. TIS. So technology, innovation, and sustainability. In all our projects, in all our activities and our clients, we are obsessed about it. We always think how the technology could be the right enabler to get a transformation, how the innovation could be the right method we can follow to have the right and the most effective transformation, the most effective news in the company, and the sustainability have to be the goal to reach for a durable results. Okay, and considering this, I'm the partner governing the entire sustainability services around the world, and for us, sustainability is not just helping our clients to have a report or to be compliant to something. We define our own approach in sustainability that is called ISA, Integrated Sustainability Approach. Why we think that the word integration, integrated, is so useful in this kind, because across all the industries where we work, and especially into the energy, utilities, and many other industries where the energy component is so strategic to evolve, is strategic to maintain and to evolve the business, we found often a great effort into the action of the sustainability initiatives, like standalone initiatives. And often there are no enough time to the strategic part of sustainability, how to embed sustainability into my strategic and industrial plan. And there are other two moments that, in our experience, many clients, many companies are still under-evaluating. The measurement of the sustainability, and it is not so simple, not always simple, and the sharing of the result you can achieve thanks to sustainability approaches. This is our mantra, and this is what we do continuously and obsessively with our network, with our partners, with our clients. And our experiences um, teaches us that there are several challenges or there are several causes about the sustainability investment from a company. For sure, many companies move forward in sustainability because of compliance, because of regulation, because they just need to seem compliant to something, to mark a tick, to have the right PDF to upload. In this case, obviously, you have to do something, you have to measure, you have to report, you have to disclose. But what is the value of this? Often, the cost of the activity in sustainability just for compliance overcome the result you can achieve. Then there are other reasons why companies are investing in sustainability. The second is the market pressure. When your client, when your provider, when your investor, or when your employees asking you to perform differently in sustainability KPIs, you are doing a step forward. I don't want just to be compliant. I want to be credible. I want to be durable. I want to be different from another. And this is a market reason, not only a legal or compliance reason. Here, the costs start to decrease, and the result, even in terms of revenues, starting on increasing. Then there is another important reason why to work in sustainability in our companies. That is the business resilience. When we think about our supply chain, when we think about the risk we are taking, considering our client need changing in the future, the natural resources that are at risk, or the different impact you can find considering the geopolitical crisis, the other crises we can find around the world. Well, you are working on your own business resilience to maintain your position or to increase your position in the future. And then there is another very, very important, fundamental, let me say, reason why work in sustainability. For profitability. Profitability is the final result you can catch, you can achieve thanks to sustainability, and not only for energy savings or for new approaches you can apply into your operation, but you can have more revenues or new revenue streams thanks to circular economy. You can think how to get new quotes in your market thanks for your differentiation on the market. Consider that all these root causes are interconnected. And the lesson I can catch from this experience is that sustainability can't be just a legal compliance method to apply. Have to be always linked to the profitability and the durability of your business. But how can we do this? How can we embed sustainability in our strategies, in our cooperation, in our businesses. Well, to speak about this, I want to introduce to you Enrico Foglia, that is not only a director, sustainability director at PIP, but is the founder, he will explain to you, the founder of the Regenerative Marketing Institute. There's a method, and we want to share with you our experience. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Danilo. Buenos dias, Carioca. How are you today? So today I have a very, very challenging mission to try to give you an approach that can, how can I say, help you in your company to use leverage sustainability in the value creation. Okay, let's try to point out what's before stepping into the conversation. Just few words about the Regenerative Marketing Institute just mentioned by Danilo. It's a think tank I founded with Philip Kotler. Who of you did economic study, marketing study knows these guys very well. Is the person who created the concept of modern marketing. Then there is myself, and the other one is Christian Sarkar, the guy who first in the world mentioned the concept of brand activism. Okay, company should stand right for civil and human right. And the picture there show the book in which we present the regenerative marketing approach. Our answer to make sustainability stay together with the common good. So, just to set a common ground, these two areas are two areas that I'm sure you care in your business life and are connected to the performance of a company. So one is the business area and one is the value areas, the green bubble. Of course, they are tightly connected each other, but they are not the same. Business is connected to the revenue, to the number of transactions that you're able to do, to generate, the number of cars that you sell, the number of consultancy that I'm ready to deliver. Okay, it's very, very important. You need to keep your business healthy if you want to pay the salary at the end of the month. And just to talk about artificial intelligence can help you to make your business stronger, okay, and more efficient. But value in the company is slightly different from the business. It's a little bit less tangible, but value is connected to the capacity to attract talent in your company, is the capacity to innovate, is the capacity also to be sustainable somehow. Okay, so it's connected to the why you are doing business, not how. And I want to give an example just to point out what I have in mind when I talk about business and value. And I'm sure that everybody knows Toyota. So in the 2004, Toyota delivered to the market something like 11 million cars, and the value is 250 billions of US dollar, the average value over the year. Tesla in the same year deliver less than 2 million cars, but the average value was 4 times. Why? Because Tesla did a tremendous job in positioning itself as the champion of the green mobility. Okay, they wanted to change the world of mobility, okay, with their electric cars, and they did a great job till one day in which Elon Musk decided to endorse the Trump administration, and the Trump administration decided not to be the Green Party administration of USA. And what happened? Immediately after, the business dropped. The business dropped because the value was of Tesla was not as strong as before. So if we agree about the difference between value and business, which is also reinforced by this guy that is not a green activist, is the CEO of BlackRock, Larry Fink, and this is a part of a letter that he sent in 2023. Point out that sustainability. He cares about sustainability not because he's a green activist, but because he's deeply connected with the value of your company, and all of you should care about this. So, coming to our approach, I mean, how can we, create and make the value of a company stronger by leveraging sustainability? This is, actually what we have come up with, uh, the regenerative model. But before stepping in our innovative regenerative framework, let's try to visualize what is the the business model that I'm sure in many of our company we are still applying. I call grow model. So you would agree with me if I say that in our company today, in most of our company, all the organization is focused only on the satisfaction of one guy, one person, the consumer. Okay? So the product that you deliver to the market, the price that you decide to set for your product or service, the placement, I mean how you get to your client, and the promotion, the campaign, everything is designed to please only one guy, only one person, your consumer, your client. I'm I'm not saying that this part is irrelevant. It's very important. You need to keep up. You need to do a great job if you want your company to stay alive. But according to the regenerative approach, we introduce a you know another big news. In your company, next to your client, you should try to satisfy, to fill the needs of another entity that I call community. When I say community, I mean the ecosystem of people and environment. Why? We'll see shortly, but we all agree that we are very sharp and try to identify the needs of our consumer. We use a digital tool, artificial intelligence, survey, etc. But we're not as so skilled in order to understand the community needs. So we have developed, several frameworks, but that you will find in the book. But in a nutshell, I'm sure that all of us agrees that what our community needs most is the common good, so the assets that make our living meaningful. In this chart, you see, representation of the most common good, starting from the bottom of the pyramid. You have the most survival, so which means the food, the water, the waste, and then if you move up, you have more aspirational needs. Of course, if you want to implement our model in your company, you need to identify which is your community, the community in which your company has more impact, and you need to understand, you need to know which are the needs of your community, because I'm sure that the community here in Amazon has a subset of needs much different from a community in the neighborhood of Rome, where I come from. So this is in a nutshell how our regenerative approach works in practice. So you have two entity, okay, company and community, and the process start uh, when the company decide to invest a little bit of business profit into the regeneration of some common goods, community common goods. When this first investment is delivered, immediately after, the community create trust, start trusting the company. And this is reinforced the green bubble that we have seen before. So the value of the company is stronger, is bigger, and this affect positively the business itself. And keep in mind that this is not one way and return activity, but is a circular activity, because when a company understands that there is a return on his investment, he stands ready to invest more and more and more. And this is the why we call this process regeneration. I'm sure that now you're asking yourself, but is this, chart work in real life, or it's just a bunch of, aspirational chart? I want to give you some example of company that are applying this approach, uh, achieving great results. And I want to bring you far away from here, 9,000 miles from here. There is a city named Palermo in Sicily. How many of you have been in Palermo? Okay, great. So you know that it's a big city, very crowded, one the fifth largest cities, and is the place where we, as Regenerative Marketing Institute, implement the first time our regenerative approach. I work serving the mayor of Palermo, which is the guy in the center, and this is during the COVID time. So they asked me and Regenerative Marketing Institute to help the city to be back after the disaster, the economic disaster that the Palermo have to face because the pandemic. But I won't talk about Palermo, but I want to talk about this guy. This guy is Claudio Restivo and is a Palermitan restaurant owner. This guy 10 years ago opened a restaurant named Multivolti, Multifaces. It's an ethnic restaurant, okay, where he serves, Sicilian, North African cuisine. And and this is the business part, but there is a very strong value activity that he brings ahead, because Claudio decided to dedicate part of the space of the restaurant to a community space where a lot of community partners, no profit entities, neighborhood association can sit and talk. On top of that, if any of his employees wants to come back to the home country and open a new restaurant, Claudio stand ready to support. And up to date, 4 restaurants have been opened in the North Africa by former Multivolti employees. I mean, this to make a long story short, the two phases of this restaurant, the profit part and the no profit part, are working so well that every night the restaurant is sold out. Okay, this is a happy story that seems to come to a very bad end in December 2022, when a fire destroyed everything. 40 people without job. Claudio was, of course, very, very unhappy, very, very anxious, because, this is a big disaster. So he decided to do something incredible. Okay, he decided to ask money to the community, to the neighborhood in which the restaurant is. And he started to kick off a crowdfunding. You won't believe it, but in few weeks, he was able to to collect something like 300,000 euros by 2,000 donors. And in 4 months, he was able to be back on business. So can you understand now how strong could be a regenerative approach? He was able to be back on business because the business was healthy, but also the value he built over the time, helping to recover from a very, very critical situation. Okay, I'm sure that you're asking yourself, okay, but this is a small restaurant. Okay, I'm working in a big company with, international footprint. How can I apply this method to my company? And I want to tell about another story, a big corporation that is applying this approach, achieving great results. And this is the company I want to talk about, Natura. Do you know Natura? Okay, Natura has been founded in the 79, sorry. And it's a cosmetic company. It's doing great job, and also in terms of sustainability, they do pretty well. I mean, because they are very challenging net zero plan. It's a big corp. But I think that the secret of the success of such a company relies on its regenerative DNA. Because to take it shortly, they embed in their financial statement this rule: for each reals generated through the business, through the sales of their cosmetic, they need to generate 2.5 value for the community. So this is a perfect regenerative approach. And this is an example of the project that serve as a regenerative approach, because they target 9,000 familias, 9,000 families, and they ask them not to cut the tree and sell the tree in the Amazon, but to grow plantation that Natura needs to create their product. So in that way, they are able to protect the environment. They generate an income that is much bigger than the income the same family may get cutting the tree and selling the tree. And this is a perfect regeneration, because it's an investment that Natura is doing over 41 communities. But if you remember the chart I showed at the very beginning, a regenerative approach is a process in which the company invests in the community, but the community somehow return the investment. This is the only way to keep the circle going on, and which is the takeaway for Natura in this case: stable supply for its production line. For a fast-moving consumer goods like Natura, the supply disruption can deeply affect the revenue and the profit, up to 50%. So in this way, Natura is able to have a stable supply and make the business stronger. That's the regeneration process going on. So just to summarize what we have seen, I want you to have a look to this graph, in which you can find the two, the new aspect we have deepened together. On the horizontal axis, you have a community value. So how much a company, how much value is produced for the community. And on the vertical axis, you have how much is produced for the company itself. And you have four kind of companies. So in the bottom right, you have charity companies, so company that produce value only for the community, but not for themselves. And don't take it wrong. I think they are very, very important. Thanks God we have a lot of no profit and energy, but they have a great limit. They relied on someone else's money. They relied on donors' money. So when the money of the donors are finished, also their impact finished. On the other, all the way down, up left, you have extracting company. You have company who are caring about only themselves. Of course, in this short time, they can be very profitable. They can grow very fast. But if there is a fire overnight, I think they cannot recover pretty easily. Then we have the regenerative, company. So the company that can serve the business value and the community at the same time. And you see there is a fourth company, no, in this graph. So a company that is not able to generate value neither from themselves nor for the community. Do you think that such a company should exist? Sadly, is full of this company. This is I want to tell you about Evergrande. Evergrande is a Chinese huge real estate investment fund that in the 2016 was worth something like 16 billion of US dollar, and in the 2023 they failed. Why? Of course, there are many reasons. The COVID impact, but I think this picture showing one of the latest city they built close to Beijing can represent why they failed. So I want to ask you, what's odd? What is missing in this picture? What is missing? People, people. In this chart, clearly is missing people. So the company was so focused in growing business that they completely forgot to involve people. And I always say at this point of my presentation that if they had Claudio Arestivo, the Palermitan and the Sicilian restaurant owner as a community manager, maybe they would have been on business today. So some takeaway to apply this approach in your life. These are the 3+1 pillars of any regenerative approach. You need to create exponential value for your company and for the community at the same time. Only for the community is charity. Only for you is extractive. Then no value extraction. If you create wellness in a place, you should try to share this with your community. Time is very important to say that a regenerative approach lasts, create permanent, stable development in a community. So if the company decide to quit, the achievement stay in the community. And then there is a fourth pillars, the secret ingredients of any regenerative approach. But before revealing what is this, I want to tell you the story of Margaret Mead. Margaret Mead is an anthropologist, very famous, and one day one student asked her, which is the first sign of the human civilization, which is the first sign we say, okay, now we are differentiating ourselves from the rest of the animal kingdom. And she didn't reply that was the fire or the wheel invention. He replied that the first moment in which we differentiate our species from the other animal is when another man help another one to fix a broken leg. because in the animal kingdom, if you break your leg, you are meat immediately after. So when happened this kind of caring, we differentiate ourselves from the rest of the human kingdom. And it was the first sign of civilization. That's why I truly believe that the regenerative approach can be effective because it's tightly connected to our DNA and our evolution. So I want to reveal which is the secret ingredients of any regenerative approach. You, because artificial intelligence can, how can I say, optimize your business. But if you want to create a value through the regenerative approach, is it you, the one who can lead the organization to do that? I want to leave you with a 1 minute uh, video. I want to ask Danilo to join me on the stage. Thanks for your attention.